Hey guys, welcome to week 5 of our digital learning for ninth Lit. I hope everybody's doing well, and if you have any questions that you've been reaching out, as usual, I'm going to do a quick overview of the week. As usual, we've done this one time. I'm going to do a quick overview of the week, and then I'm going to go specifically into the directions for the project, so make sure you stick around for that, because obviously the digital learning means that some things are going to have changed. And so first, let's just look at our week 5 overview. This week is all about your Romeo and Juliet project. So you'll see that today or Monday, you're going to look at the directions, you're going to watch this video, you're going to brainstorm, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is really about working on the project. You should be able to finish the project if you work really, pretty diligently for that half an hour every day. But if you need extra time, of course, you can have that time on Friday, and then you'll turn the project in either Thursday or Friday. And we'll talk about how to turn it in just a few minutes. So the only day that really has a ton of directions here is Monday. And so the first thing you're going to do is on Monday, you're going to review your project instructions. And then you're watching this video now, so hopefully you've already looked at the instructions, but if not, go ahead and do that. And so when you click this link, oh, it's thundering. I don't know, you probably can't hear that now, I just sound crazy. But when you click this link, you're going to see the Romeo and Juliet project. The purpose of this project is for you to show that you understood Romeo and Juliet, that you understand the theme of it, like this, what the important plot points are and the character choices. The first thing that you're going to notice is that it says you can work in groups of 1 to 3. That's just not doable in our current climate. So this is a solo project now, and it's not too much work. Like, it's a pretty easy one-person project, so I feel okay about that. So ignore direction 1 because you're not going to work in a group this time. The only reason that I kept this sheet is because this is the one that you have in the packet. Otherwise, I would have left that part out. And then you want to choose a project that plays to your strengths. So if you like to draw, then there's an option for that. If you are not comfortable using the internet, don't choose something that requires you to go learn a new app. If you're a writer and you like to write, then there's a choice for that. So make sure you choose the one that appeals to your strength. And then as you adapt Romeo and Juliet, make thoughtful choices about what you're doing. Don't just do something because it's silly or it's funny, but if you pick a person or a thing to be this character, why are you doing that? If you place the the play in a different environment or a different setting, why are you doing that? Be ready to kind of talk about that next week when you do your reflection. And then it says you'll share this with the group and small group presentations. I just don't think our tech's there yet. So you're just going to submit the project. So let's look at our options. So option 1 is it's the most fun one if we are in class, but I think that there's some opportunity to do some really creative and fun stuff with this. And then if you do something that you're proud of, I'm glad to share it out and show others. So act it out is that you select one complete scene. And now a scene is it says act 1 and it's not over till it says act 2. So you have to kind of choose a scene where you want to use every bit of it. And then you're going to rewrite it into modern language with a modern setting. So let's say you do the scene where they meet at the ball. Maybe you change that into a high school prom or something like that. So thinking about what could we do to this play to move it into modern times. You're going to perform your scene in front of the class. That's what it says, right? But that's obviously not what you're going to do. So you're going to make a video and you're going to submit that video. Now, obviously, you don't have classmates who can play the roles. So I was thinking about some different ways that you could do this. 1, you could incorporate your family members, get mom, dad, little brother involved, have them be your characters. 2, you could use dolls, stuffed animals, dig into your toys or your siblings' toys. You can make paper cutouts of the characters and have them acting it out, you move them around, or puppets. Be as creative as you want to be with this. At this point, experiment, be brave, be bold, try something different. So that is the act it out one. If you do that, you'll make a video of it and you'll just submit the video. You'll email it to me or upload a link to Edmodo, whatever works for you. And again, if it's something you're really proud of and you want to share with the class, we can make that happen. The second one is you've got mail. You'll select 4 crucial plot points. Now, a plot point is like an event. So it's like Romeo and Juliet get married, or Romeo and Juliet meet at the ball, or the guy gets held up in, the second friar, right? Gets held up in the other town. Like, these are crucial plot points. So you're going to pick 4 crucial plot points and you're going to create a postcard. And so that means that on the front, you'll have some sort of image. And think about what a postcard is. A postcard is a way that people remember or share about a place that they've been or an event that they've seen. So if you go to SeaWorld, you might buy a postcard that has an orca on it, right? Or if you go to Disney, you might have a postcard that has all the princesses on it or the castle. So thinking about using images and symbols and colors that are relevant to the event. And then the back should have a short, thorough letter summarizing the event. So you want to come from a different, like a character's point of view. You could be like Romeo writing letters to his cousin who lives in France. Or you could be like some stranger who lives in Verona and they're writing letters to, their friend who's out of town and explaining like these Capulets and Montagues are a mess. Like, and then thinking about, do you want to use modern language? Do you want to update it and move it? Do you want to pretend like you're still in Verona? Making those changes. So be thoughtful about details, including addresses, sender, recipient. Be clever. Like I said, be brave, be fun, be bold. Like, try something different here. The next one is comicify it. And this one you're going to select 2 complete. Again, that's like Act 1, Scene 1, or Act 2, Scene 2. The thing that I saw last semester was a lot of people would do like a plot point, but that's not what it says. It says a complete scene. So you're going to take that and you're going to rewrite it into a comic strip. You can do this however you want. You can do it on paper, colored pencils, markers. You can do it technological. Like, there's all sorts of apps to make comics, however you want to do it. And then you can use the original setting or determine an alternate time or place. Something that's interesting here is you have to include like crucial dialogue from the play. So making sure that your setting is like representative of whether you've moved it or the other, like that those images, those graphics show the action and the setting. And then also that you're including like dialogue from the play that will help us understand what's happening. So choosing those important lines, okay? And then the last one is for my writers, go write a book. This again is plot points. So you're selecting like a specific thing that happened, and then you're going to rewrite it using a traditional narrative structure. That's like a book or story. So you'll change the time and place and then modernize it or set it in a completely different time and place. So like, think about the best book that you've ever read or a book that you really enjoyed. You can turn it into, like, take the story of Romeo and Juliet and set it in New York in the 1920s, or take the story of Romeo and Juliet and set it at Hillgrove, right? So you can change it however you want to. You must use accurate narrative structure, including dialogue and imagery. So thinking back to our narrative unit, using those skills. It says the final product must be typed. There's no page limit on this. Like, you do what you need to do to cover the 4 plot points. I'm never going to tell you, like, you can't write more. Just go for it. So again, these are your 4 project options. You'll submit them you'll turn your project in when you finish it. So probably Thursday or Friday. And you'll do that via email or Edmodo. And like, just send me a link or upload a document or take pictures and send those to me, however you decide to do it. This can be as high tech or as low tech as you need it to be. Like, just whatever it is. Okay. So that is your project. That's the overview of the directions. Once you've done that, you'll see that there's a brainstorming sheet here. You can click the brainstorming sheet and it'll open up. Again, I gave you a Google and an Office 365, just trying, like, whatever works easiest for you. And it says here, do not submit this. This is for you. So if you don't do the brainstorming sheet, that's going to show in your project, but you don't need to turn it in. So one thing I did want to point out is that if you have a Google Doc, you have options. You can open with Google Docs or you can download it. If you open with Google Docs, I only set them so that you can view them. So you have to make a copy. So you're always going to come over here and click File, Make a Copy, and then it's going to copy it onto your computer or your Google Drive, okay? So just make sure you know that. And that applies as well for the extension project, which I forgot to mention, but that enrichment project up here is the same way. So it's a copy, and I put a big note at the top, like you have to copy it, click the file and make a copy to edit. If you request access, then by the time I get that to you, you may like have moved on. I will say this enrichment assignment is really cool this week. It's just TED Talk, so you pick a TED Talk. These are all pretty good TED Talks. I enjoy all of them. The Power of Introverts is really good if you're one of those people who like just doesn't like to speak up in class, and like we hear so much about extroverts, and you're just more shy and more introverted, kind of checking that out. I also think The Danger of a Single Story is my all-time favorite TED Talk, so I'd recommend that one a lot. And then kids always like the What Adults Can Learn from Kids. Doris Fitak is like, she's an interesting girl. And then you would just complete this and turn this in. And again, that's just an easy 10 points. Highly recommend doing those. There's no reason not to. It's a good way to build up your skills, even if you're deciding not to do some of the other work. So then you'll see it's Tuesday work on project, Wednesday work on project, Thursday work on project, and then submit on Edmodo or to Barbara McClure. If you finish a project early, feel free to submit it early. And that's really it for this week. I will do a Zoom drop-in on Thursday, but it's really just, I mean, I miss you guys, so if you want to come chat, but I don't want to waste your time. So I'm not going to be like providing new content. I'm just going to be there if you have questions, if you want to run your project by me. And also, that's always an option. Like if you are on Tuesday, if you're like, Dr. McClure, I don't know what to do, I'm so stuck, let me know. We can set up a Zoom and we can chat, or we can text back and forth, or whatever you need to do. So I'm trying to make this so that our users who don't have a lot of tech can still work with it, but also if you need extra support or extra access, I'm here 100% of the time and a little bit bored out of my mind. So please reach out to me, okay? I hope you guys have a great week. Let me know if you need anything, and enjoy wrapping up Romeo and Juliet. This will be the last little bit that we do with it. Okay, I gotta turn this off. Bye, guys.